I'm just burnt out, I think, entirely. And it's not even Q4 yet.
Do you want to know how burnt out I am? I quit my job.
Oh, Nate.
Next level. Congratulations.
Thanks.
You're going to be fine.
Someone sent me, you know the meme of like the guy who like has two buttons to press and he's like sweating over the press.
Yeah.
Someone sent it to me, and on one of them was like, take paternity leave, and the other was just quit your whole job. And they're like, this is you. And I was like, yeah. Welcome back to Brain Driven Brands. We got another fantastic guest episode. It's not just me and Sarah. We are joined by retention and lifecycle marketer extraordinaire.
Oh, wow.
That's a good title. I'd keep that one.
Yeah.
I like that
Alyssa Wallace. What's going on? Welcome to the pod.
It's going good. I'm just happy to be here with you guys. I've talked a lot to Sarah, which is always a vibe, but seeing you, Nate, on the little like shorts on Sarah's feed is a good intro to it. I'm like, so we're starting a brand this year?
Starting a brand this year, apparently.
I put you in the clips this time. I tried really hard this week to make sure he was in there.
I've been complaining to Sarah for a year of doing this pod because every clip she would post, I don't talk in it. I'm just like nodding on the other screen and she talks for a minute and then the clip ends. And I'm like, all right, like,
I'm so sorry.
Anyways, this week I got to talk in some clips, and by the way, numbers are up. So I mean, maybe there's something to it, you know?
They are actually. We're doing better. We're doing better. I'm super excited to chat with you. You and I have sat down and had like conversations. Well, both of us, me and Nate, me and Alyssa. But now all three of us together is gonna be lovely because Alyssa does something that I don't do a whole lot these days because I'm solidly in acquisition. But you have like a really, really deep dive handle on retention and lifecycle marketing in particular, which we were just discussing before we hit record. The differences of like definitions in this industry around loyalty-based, retention-focused marketing, drastically different. Like people don't seem to understand what that is. Oh, so do you want to start by giving us kind of a rundown of like, what are you, how do you term these? Like the differences in all those?
So everywhere I look, there's not a clear definition. How I'm defining it internally is retention is just how many times someone comes back to purchase. It's like an action.
Simple. I love this. Simple.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yes. Good definition.
And then life cycle is kind of just macro view of the map of all the touch points used to incentivize that repeat purchase.
Yeah. Which field do you play in? Like which sandbox do you prefer to play in? I should ask.
I feel like they're interconnected because how else?
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, true.
One doesn't come without the other. And now that I'm in it, like now I'm confused because I'm using email and SMS marketing and we're dealing with people who hadn't purchased before. Yep. So I'm like, is that acquisition?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel it in my soul.
Right. I'm super glad this conversation is coming to light because like all of it is just selling. All of it is just marketing.
We're doing the same thing, guys.
Yeah. And like, I know. I've had to like the amount of people that don't realize their email list is made up of majority prospects, not customers.
Yes.
Is insane to me. And I'm like, hey, no, your emails are acquisition. Like,
Yep. Well, and if you're the person that's running it and you're confused, can you imagine like what these brands are thinking? They're just like, somebody take this and do something with it.
They think their email
oh my God.
is their customer base. And it's like, no, it's not what that is.
I am shocked. And they can't tell, like by email address, they cannot tell which one of these people are closest to the purchase, which one of them just got done with the purchase, but then like may never purchase again. I don't think people understand and realize that like retention we should be looking at the whole thing together as a sales process. And this is something I just posted about, I think a couple days ago. There's a very distinct, very clear behavioral science fact around this that like just because somebody purchased it once does not mean they're going to be in the market to purchase it again for any reason ever. So if you're trying to get people to purchase again and again, that's habit building and behavioral like mechanism basically is what you're trying to build. Not marketing. It's not marketing like at all.
Well, and like a big part of the reason we had success at OG was because like we looked at this holistically. Like when I first started digging into some of our data, we realized that our best-selling watches were not actually the best watches to sell. They were the watches that we were like investing the most time into, the most ad spend into. They were the watches that like the marketing team was focused on. but they
Yeah.
didn't produce the most lifetime profit dollars. So like we
Whoa.
like reverse engineered the life cycle of our customers by being like, which watches are we selling that produce the best customer behavior in the 12 months following that first order? And
Ah,
then we're like, that's what we should be advertising,
smart.
because I've
Oh,
seen so many like hacky or just plain bad acquisition offers that result in no LTV. And then it's like, well, then what are you doing?
yeah.
You're not building a brand that's going to last.
Nate, I actually have a question for you on this because this question keeps coming up ever since last year. I was at Commerce Table, which is
Mhm.
this theory of finding that cohort of people that are like the ideal customer. And that could be a combination of scoring of like the acquisition side, like how efficient the cost is, and on the retention side, how profitable is their lifetime revenue. And combining that and then finding that cohort and finding signals that indicate that person is arriving and kind of working backwards from there.
That's a great question about this because I think a lot of people have this question of like, how
Yeah.
do I work? Okay, so
So
tell us your plan.
for us, it came down to the product they bought, the offer that was on that product, and then the messaging of it. Like we
Okay.
very clearly saw, certain products performed better than others, but we also saw like our least valuable customers bought between Black Friday and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christmas. Those are the least
Yeah.
valuable
Yeah.
customers we have. They're just
Yeah.
waiting for a deal. Whereas the most valuable
Yeah.
customers we get buy in August and September. It's like that timing mattered a
Whoa,
lot.
right before Black Friday?
And it's because those people are still
Oh.
like in top of mind enough to buy again when we get to the sale.
Oh,
So
fascinating.
like that changed how we market. And then like a lot of our messaging and copy, when we got more into selling the lifestyle and the identity that our customers wanted to see, those people started spending more on first order and on repeat orders, because we weren't just selling them like on features, we
Crazy.
weren't just selling them on a deal, we were selling them on like becoming an original grain kind of man. So those are kind of like the big,
Whoa.
whatever, 4 segments for us: the product, the timing, the offer, and the messaging. Like all painted a very clear picture of who our most valuable customers are. So this time of year in September, we are advertising the right products, the right offer, the right messaging, and the right,
Wow.
well, it's the right time. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I know the customers that we're acquiring today are going to be the most valuable ones we have. So we're pushing the throttle on acquisition.
Hmm.
But that's kind of how like we built it backwards. And then retention, I mean, like doesn't take care of itself. There's obviously like a lot of work to do. But if you don't get acquisition right, then you have no chance of getting retention right.
100%.
Yeah, that's so interesting. I was listening to a little another clip this last week of you guys, and it adds color to this because you were talking about like pushing more content earlier before like it starts October 1st or something, or September and October. And I'm curious on how you like pinpoint these cohorts. Is it just by measuring the LTV on the people that come through during a specific month?
Yeah, like the time of year matters a ton for us. And then like something that we've tried to work into like our entire funnel, from the ads to emails, which are acquisition focused. We're just really starting to understand like how long our consideration cycle is. And we have like a third of our customers that wait to buy from us a year after they first hear about who we are.
Yep. Yep.
So like we
Wow.
have a lot
That's
of like
common.
we have like a lot of educating, a lot of persuading, a lot of kind of like
Yeah.
priming that we have to do before we get something, or before we get someone to buy. And we find that true for both acquisition and lifecycle marketing efforts. Like someone buys the first watch, great. That clock kind of resets. They don't need another
Yeah.
one next
Mhm.
week or next month even. They might
Yep.
need one for a wedding in a couple of months. They might need one for a Christmas gift at some point.
Yeah.
But understanding just like our customers' consideration cycle was super important into making sure we were
Yeah.
dialed in on this.
I think it also comes down to a little bit of understanding how often your customers need this when it comes to their when, right? So we talk
Yeah.
about when a lot on this particular podcast, but for CPG brands, for anything consumable, anything that runs out, you got to track that customer life cycle span pretty freaking closely, because it's not always the 3-month supply that you gave them. Sometimes they'll run through a little bit of it, a third of whatever the product is. Then they'll like fall off the wagon for a little bit, not consume a ton for the next month, but they'll still have, 2/3 of the bottle left by month 3. They don't need more product yet.
Yeah.
So you can't just put in place these retention cycles, especially on the email side, to just try and buy more, because like a 3-month reminder does nothing for their behavior when they're like, I still have product.
You're just squeezing the sponge and ruining the account while annoying people at the same time.
Yeah. And you definitely don't want to annoy people, especially with email. I've noticed the behavior inside inboxes has changed a lot these days. Because I don't find, especially when I'm working with like brands where we have to try and find a good way to squeeze both acquisition and retention at the same time, or they're trying really hard to make sure that they're working well together. We find that the ads seem to be drawing in a really specific type of customer, but the only people that stay in the email ecosystem are drastically different people.
Yeah.
Oh, that's super interesting.
Totally different customer type. It's almost like a completely different value system. They don't, at least from like what we're seeing from the CIM, they don't seem to correlate with why they came in, which is scary. Acquisition, they came in for this reason. Retention, they're staying for another.
Yeah. That actually makes sense to me, because for the brands that I buy instantly, I know I just want that one product and I'm leaving.
Yeah. 100%.
And then for the ones I actually like intentionally put my email in, I'm like, I'm saving up for when this is more relevant in my life. So I'm just gonna see what pops up eventually, but there's no urgency.
Yeah.
Well, and it's interesting because I've never heard of a customer ever being like, I just really like their emails. So I signed up because I was like, these are the greatest emails ever. I just want to get them in my
No
inbox.
one likes
No
them.
one ever.
And like
Nobody
no one even buys from you because they like your ad. Like there's nothing
So
about your
true.
brand that
Oh
people
my
like.
gosh.
I think we need to get that into our
The hard
heads.
truth.
Okay?
The
And like
hard truth.
I always see like super inconsistent messaging from ads to emails from brands, because everyone
Interesting.
focuses their creative testing program like around their ad account. And then your welcome email flow was built like 2 years ago and you haven't updated it. And like that's something that like I've been guilty of at times, and something we worked on this year was like, if we know exactly what messaging produces the best customer behavior, then we got to say it in the ad, in the caption of the ad, in the welcome email, on the landing page, on the post-purchase email.
Yes, it's gotta be consistent.
We know what works. Let's put it everywhere. And that's where I think like a lot of people lose out on this, is like they quote sell like this solution, this opportunity. They sell a bag of goods in the ad, and then they get to the email flow, and the email flow is like, use code welcome10 for 10% off. And it's like, we're not done selling them.
So I have a question for Alyssa though. You work with like a bunch of different brands, and you have these like experiences of like all these different retention focused, lifestyle focused campaigns in place. Do you find that there's a consistent thread with people who purchase again, like behaviorally? Are there some messages that just resonate really well with them?
Well, for Breeze specifically, like by far our mocktail recipe evergreen campaign is consistently the highest performing, and is even on par with any of our offer focused campaigns.
A recipe?
And the mocktails have no call to action, really. It's just like, here's the recipe.
It's value. Yeah. I love this. I love this.
And that on top of Corbin just talking about like life in general, like what's going on in his week and what's been helping out. And like fortunately the customer service team at Breeze is like really proactive and prompt, so that we can do a lot of these initiatives of like, you can reply and we'll answer immediately, and it's not a empty promise.
I'd be interested to see more of those emails for Breeze of like calling out situational wins, right? So Monday blues is a thing. There's also something on Thursday where it's like 3 p.m. I have one full day to do tomorrow that I do not want to do. And now I'm just kind of like, this is what I did yesterday afternoon. I just kind of like didn't work. Like I went out to the front swing and I was like on my phone, like scrolling. I'm like, this is work, right? And that was my Thursday afternoon because I was so drained I couldn't do anymore. That happens everywhere. Like, when
I think marketers especially in our industry, underestimate how much most Americans hate their jobs. And I think we need to be playing into
Yeah.
it. Like the average American makes 66 grand a year and
Yeah.
does not
That's
like their
so
job and hates their
Yeah.
boss and is like,
Mhm.
well,
And
you know,
doesn't
we're
have a
all.
choice.
I think we need to play into like what people
Yeah.
are going through on a day-to-day basis more, and like
Mhm.
that's
yeah.
just what matters to people is like they want people to understand and feel heard and feel seen and feel like valued for what they're going through. And I think the brands that can do that are the brands that can hold people for years and years and years, because you're not
Yes.
just buying a product, you're buying into a brand that gets what you go through Monday through Friday.
I think sometimes D2C marketing can come across as a little insensitive because we
Mhm.
run a lot of emails that say, we have
A
a
little.
sale. It's we
A
have just
little.
a few.
Great
Like,
call out.
you know, we're doing this thing. Like, come give us money is all we say. Come give us money. Come give us money. And that's why I love
Yeah.
that one of the top performers for you guys is something that didn't have a CTA in it. It was just like, check out this cool recipe, guys. Pin it to your Pinterest board. You're gonna love this one. Take it home.
Yeah.
Please de-stress this weekend because we know you're broke and sad, and so are we. Like, this sucks. It's so hard being human. Okay, we could keep talking about this for so long. But unfortunately, I think Nate has a hard stop.
I've got a heart out. Y'all can keep
Okay.
going if
Okay.
you want to. But Alyssa,
It was nice
great
to meet you,
to
Nate.
meet you. Good episode. If y'all want to keep it rolling, go for it. But
Okay.
I will see y'all.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Thanks, Nate. I love this conversation. We're gonna keep it going for like just a little bit longer because now I have
Yeah.
all the questions and I can't like stop coming to my head. What do you think is going to be the future then? Because like we have this role of like it's coming across as insensitive. Customers are broke, and like we have just thousands of ads and thousands of emails going out basically every month for some of these brands. What should we be focused on?
I have no clue if it's unconventional or conventional, but I just
Okay.
think natural selection is in full swing. So if you don't have a good product, if it's not helping someone, like genuinely helping someone,
oh my gosh, yes.
you're gonna die.
Nate is gonna be so sad that he missed this part of the podcast because yes, 100% natural selection of
Yeah.
business is happening right now. If you can't figure out a good way to connect with customers emotionally, and if you really are struggling to understand what that even means, you got to go back to square one and do some like educating of yourself.
I'm seeing across brands, year over year growth and like conversion is just decreasing
Yes.
over time.
Yeah.
And I have no visibility on acquisition side to see, but I have only heard that they're like turning off the faucet on it just because to save costs, or like even
Yeah.
turning off SMS altogether just to save costs and
Yeah.
focusing majority on email. So I think it's making us, I think it's making us better people.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's making
To
us
be
more
honest.
conscious as marketers to get
Yeah.
really good at maybe 2 channels, not like 17 channels like we had in COVID. It was just like, God, how are we keeping up with all of this? Now I'm seeing the same where like brands are pulling back a little bit and saying, do we really need SMS to scale? Do we really
Yeah.
need to have like all these other channels? Like,
Yeah, which is an
Yeah.
interesting question because I've been asked that over the last 3 years, like, oh, I want to do SMS. And I'm like, do you need it though?
Do you need it? Yes. Yeah.
Like,
well,
is it
that's protection then.
supportive?
Yeah. Is
Or-
it
or
actually
is it-
going to do what you think it is going to do?
Yeah, does your audience actually use their text like that? Because I would talk to brands that have obviously older demographics, and they're asking about SMS, and I'm like, you can test it, but I highly doubt. I think
Yeah.
we should specialize in like this one email channel
Yes.
first,
Yes.
and then ask, like actually have that feedback loop on how you want to be communicated, especially
Yes.
if it's like subscription or something that you can replenish. Like, hey, can we do this to make your life easier? And then you're
Yes.
more.
This is the question I've been asking myself all year. And it's something, again, when you're in the business, it's like really difficult to pull yourself out far enough to be able to think sometimes because you're just putting out fires left and right.
Every day.
But one of the things that I'm trying to come to terms with is like, what's best for the customer? What's best for the
Yeah.
customer this year? So ask yourself, are we running SMS because it's actually helping the customer, or are we running it because we thought we could get more cash from it? Because that's
Exactly.
not a good marriage. Sure, you can make money from it, but if your customers are using it just because it was an option and they don't like the text message you send, they're just deleting them. you're not really doing much with it. It's almost similar to like back in the day when pop-ups had like a really low opt-in rate. It was like a 3 to 5% opt-in rate for your pop-up was
Yeah.
like a good rate. I'm sitting here over going being like, okay, so that means 95% of the people that land on this pop-up don't want it. Why do you have it then? If the
Yeah.
majority of the people don't want it, why do you
That's a
have
really
it?
good point. It's because everyone and their mom is saying that you need things that you don't
You
need.
need it. I'm like, I don't know that you need it, especially if you have other channels where the customers like, you got like a 70% opt-in rate. I'm like, that's the channel where the majority of my customers are at least engaged enough and enjoy it enough to opt in. I'd rather spend my
Yeah.
time there and get that 70 up to a 75 this month. Not try
Yeah.
and increase my pop-up from a 3 to a 7. Like, I'm just like, what is going on? What is going on? And I think it comes down to perception, like you said. But a lot of
100%.
it is just like, I don't know, this big brand over here said they're doing it, so I'm just gonna do it. And I'm like, I think that's where the retention people or the life cycle people honestly have it harder than the ad people. Like, I think ad people are struggling. It's hard out here, but I have full control over what goes out in that ad, what we say. And I also have a little bit of control over the landing page because they have to be congruent, right? It's like we have to work
I
together.
want that.
Email retention, it's literally just like you have what you need, go do it. And you're like, but
Yeah.
none of what I do is attached to like what's on the lander. They're going back to the landing page, but I can't control what's on that right now. So everything I do in the email is dependent on what you guys are doing in acquisition. So I basically
Yeah.
get like the leftovers sort of marketing.
Yeah, it's like
Hard.
trusting that they know what they're doing and that
Yes.
this does work, and that's why it's
Yes.
staying
That's why
online.
it's there.
And then on my side, it's just, which honestly fits what I think my brand is, because the theme of being resourceful and as creative as possible with the most limited amount of resources has been in my life since day one. So I think it's just natural that I'm in this position. I dug this hole for myself. I dug it. I'm sitting in it.
It's good skill set though. Like, you've built up enough of that skill of like, I can be creative with this. You give me a banana, a golf ball, and like a card. I'll figure out how to make something interesting from this. Like, here we go.
Yeah.
And then you just do it. But this is why I have started to advise brands. You need a different landing page ecosystem for your acquisition and different landers for your retention. Separate freaking landers. Do not send a retention customer to an acquisition lander. What is going on? And this is
Also,
why,
how are
again,
you supposed to measure the difference either? You can't.
I can't tell. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? So, and again, I know this goes like right out like side of my mouth. We literally just said at the beginning of this, oh, like you should, it's different for each, but they're all acquisition, all of it sales. I still think that's 100% true. But what that means is anybody that's warmed up on an email list should not be sent back to a page that talks about education or like is really top funnel or like very vague, right? They need to be sent to a landing page that talks about like, this. We don't need to remind you of this.
It's like they're 5 miles away from their destination and we're taking them another 20 miles further away.
Exactly. Back to the beginning of the journey and being like, wait. We want to remind you again of the beginning of your journey.
It's like, you know this information already. You know.
Yes. Every email batch, I would say. Not like every single email, but like we have a batch of, 20 emails we're sending this month. Can we send them all to one specific lander that's in congruency with the messaging we're sending out in those emails so that we're not trying to send people back to the beginning of the destination, and so that we can track just that ecosystem from warm traffic. I don't want to muddy it with cold traffic people who have no idea who we are, who just came off of an ad.
And I think it's more efficient overall because it's changing what is like measured intuitively over a 6-month or 12-month time span to even maybe as soon as like 1 week. It's a lot of work, but less time overall because it's just that 1 week that you have this live.
Exactly.
And then you move on to the next one.
Yep. Yes. And then your retention focused. Yeah. Your retention focused team then doesn't have to try and like play with what acquisition is doing because they have their own ecosystem set up. You could track it way, way better. Oh, I could go so far down this rabbit hole. Just like, well,
this is the only motivation of why I need to start a brand at some point, because I have these theories and I want to do the complete opposite. Just to fuck around and find out.
Sandbox brands. Yes. Nate and I want to start one so bad this year because I'm like, I just want to fuck around with something. And I want to be able to just be like, what if we send out a weird list that's like, here's all of the sandwiches I ate in the last 2 months. We want to know what sandwiches did you guys eat this week? Like dumb shits. Like I just want to send something stupid and see what the response is, because like people are dying for that kind of content. They just want to feel happy for 2 seconds, guys. It's hard to be a human.
Distracted, happy, and not sold to at the same time.
I can't tell you how much I wish people understood. Retention-based marketing is pen pal. You are a pen pal. That's what you are.
On the pen pal note, first out is, thinking about the future. If I had my own brand and it was founder focused, I would totally send handwritten letters to like the top 1%. And that brings me to this other question that I feel like you've already thought about, but it's a non-data backed theory or belief that I have, that we should be rewarding returning customers significantly more than any new customers. So it's an earned relationship, and you can feel, and I'm sure on the customer side, you could feel a sense of achievement 100%. In earning this type of status, instead of like plopping this loyalty status with no actual perks.
Well, no perks. No, they didn't earn it. Like nobody likes to be told you're special without having to earn it, because they know in their brain that they haven't. And so they're going to sit there and go, what is this for? Like, I'm not going to do anything with this. I'm also not incentivized to keep doing it. Humans love games. They like to earn stuff. They actually want it to be hard. That sounds weird, but they do. So loyalty, emails, retention, like any of this stuff, you got to make it hard for people to get something from you. And this is probably a good spot to end this, because you and I are going to talk about this for like 2 straight hours. Yeah. You are doing a fantastic job because you think about it. And I think this is like good marketers think about what they do and say, is this how we should be doing this? They don't just like, okay, just keep going. Like, whatever, we're just going to keep doing it. I think the more you think about it, the better content you're going to be able to make. Because this week, on top of your CTAs and like driving road, whatever it is, you might send a random email that's just like, here's all the sandwiches we have this week. What kind of sandwiches you guys have this week? And then you're going to see drastic numbers come into the inbox, and they're going to share it with their friends, who share it with their friends, who share it with their friends. You'll get that kind of chainmail type thing going, because people are like, this like weird sandwich email I just got. And that's how you drive good retention.
Mm-hmm.
Where can people follow you if they want to like watch your journey, come work with you? Where can they find you?
They can find me on anything with the username @AlyssaJeanX.
Yay! Thank you so much for coming on this show. This was lovely chatting.
It was so fun. Will I see you at Commerce Table?
I was gonna come to you, but I didn't get invited. 1 and 2. Usually and I'm not saying that like Sarah didn't get invited, so I'm not coming. It was more like, if you don't tell me when it is, I don't know these are happening. And like, I didn't hear from anybody that this was a thing. And I was like, crap. So I ran out of time to like book any ticket. And then we have tons of kids stuff going on this year. So I was like, crap.
Okay, next one. We'll catch up.
Yes, so it's going to be great. Thank you for chatting. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today. Appreciate you guys listening. If you want to follow me, I'm at Sarah Levinger. Anywhere you consume content, he is at Nate Lagos. If you like this show, and if you like this episode, go ahead and like, subscribe, share with a friend. Drop us a review when you have a minute. We would appreciate it. Otherwise, have a great week. We'll see you next time.